So can you tell me what is the difference here and to the previous problem what you have done earlier? What is the data that is given additional to that, not given in this problem? What is not given here? Is the ratio of CT given? Ratio of CT ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಾ 1000 by 5 amps ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ CT ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. Instead of that he has given the turns, number of turns on primary and secondary. See, he has given number of turns on secondary as 300 turns, but he has not given on the primary. So he is telling that primary is a bar primary winding, that is it has one winding. NP will be one turn. NP is equal to 1 you have to consider. Okay, if NP is not given, you have to consider that as a 1. Whereas secondary turns it is given as 300. Okay, you have noted down. So you can find out small n, that is turns ratio. So as we all know, if turns ratio or nominal ratio is not given, we are going to make both nominal ratio as well as turns ratio equal. So if you find out n, you can find out kn also. Okay, kn can be found using this method. Okay, next what we have to do, we have to determine the ratio and phase angle error. Here no need of finding any flux or anything. Directly you can go on to the ratio and phase angle error. Okay, so what about secondary winding voltage? What is the equation to find secondary winding voltage? Please note down what are the things that is given. See here, both resistance and reactance of the secondary winding are given. That is R and X, both are given. Note down those things. So instead of taking only R, their reactance was not given in the previous problem. So we were taking directly S is equal to IS into Z there, right? Z. Is into Z, that is nothing but impedance. In the previous problem, impedance was directly given. If impedance is not given, the resistance and reactance are given separately. You can use this equation. In the previous problem, what we did is we took Es is equal to Is into Z. Okay. One second. Es into Z ಅಂತ ತಗೋತಿದ್ವಿ, but here you can take directly as Is into R plus X ಅಂತಾನೆ ತಗೋಬಹುದು, because R and X are given separately. Find out Es. Then what you have to find? Finally, you have to find the ratio and phase angle error. So ratio error R is given as Kn minus, ratio factor is given as Kn minus R divided by R. Before that, R is equal to, it is an equation you know. This equation is used to find out R. So here, what are the unknowns? Please find out those things first. What are the unknowns here? Have they given magnetizing component IM? Is IM given in the problem? Yes, IM is given. MMF, magnetizing MMF, IM is directly given as 100 amperes, whereas IE is not given. So for finding out IE, you can use the equation iron losses by your EPR ES. ES by N ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು direct ಆಗಿ. Look into this. Here we know IM is given, but IE is not given. Okay. So IM is like only they have given the magnetic MMF ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. N divided by NP is the formula to find IM. So NP is taken as 1. So directly IM will be equal to 100 amperes. So whereas IE, to find out IE, we have to use the iron loss. What he has given here? He has given the iron loss. IE is iron loss by either EP or ES by N ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. Okay. So you can take this. IM is equal to 100 amperes and IE is equal to, find out what is this value. Then we have to find delta. Delta is given by the equation tan inverse of X by R. You know, delta is given by tan inverse of X by R. Find out delta value. Then substitute in the equation for R and tell me what is the answer you get for R. Tell me what is the value you are going to get for R. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? Please look into the things what you have to find out. What are the unknown things here in this equation, and then find out those values. So R ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ನಾವು, because we want ratio. Final ratio error calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Ratio error is given by Kn minus R by R. In that R only is unknown. To find out R, we have to use this equation, that is R is equal to N plus Im sin delta plus I is cos delta divided by Is. Okay, here Im and IE are unknown. First, we are going to find Im and IE, and also delta is unknown. You can find out delta by using the equation tan inverse of x by r. Find out that, substitute in the equation, and find out the value of r. What is the answer for r?
Ma'am, 379.25.
379.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, once check out, everybody. Please check out the answer whether you're getting 379. Anybody else, please try that problem and tell me the answer. ಬೇರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಔಟ್. ಲೆಟ್ us see which is correct. I don't know whether here whatever is written might be wrong. Others, are you getting the same answer, 379?
Ma'am, that's wrong value, ma'am. 315.85.
ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, see whether you're getting 379 or 315. Anybody from girls side who have tried? Girls? What is the answer you're getting, 315 or 379?
Ma'am, 315.85.
315.85. Okay. Who said first, please check pa. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 379 ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ 315 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್?
Ratio error.
Ratio error you calculate. So what is the ratio error you are going to get? Ratio error equation ಏನು? Kn minus R by R into 100. You have to keep the error in terms of percentage. Tell me the answer for ratio error.
Minus 5.01.
Minus 5.01 ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Okay, fine. Others, are you getting plus or minus? ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. -5% ಇದೆ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. After finding ratio error, you have to find out one more thing in the problem. He has asked you to find out the phase angle error also. So to find the phase angle error, the equation is 180 by pi into Im cos delta minus IE sin delta by n into Is. 180 by pi into Im cos delta minus IE sin delta divided by n into Is. So here almost all the unknowns we have already found out using this particular things only. Im, IE ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. Just do the substitution part. See, in the previous case ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ there was no burden or anything here, but here we have delta. We have to find out delta. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಲೋಡ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್, ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೀಕೇಜ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಟುಕ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ delta as 1. We didn't calculate any delta value there. It was a purely resistive circuit. Neglect leakage reactance and the reactance part neglect ಮಾಡಿ only resistive part ಇತ್ತು. So obviously pure resistive circuit ಅಲ್ಲಿ we took it as 1. The delta value as 1 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, he didn't say you to neglect any of the resistance or anything. He has given both resistance and reactance to be considered. So we have to calculate delta and add that in this particular problem. Previously difference ಇದೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We have not added anything for delta. Directly delta ಗೆ 0 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. Purely resistive circuit 0 ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. So sin 0 and cos 0 whatever values we are going to get, that we have substituted in the previous problem. So that is a major difference what you have to observe from last problem to this problem. So theta banta, phase angle error banta. Did you do the substitutions? Yes. Can you hear me?
Ma'am, 2.57.
ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay, fine. 2.57. Theta is positive, right? Phase angle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Others? See whether you're getting the same answer. If you're finished, we'll move on to the next problem. Please let me know once you're finished. Finished? Did you get the answers? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
ಓಕೆ ಪಿ ಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಾಟ್ ದಿ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಟುಡೇ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪಿ ಟಿಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ನೋಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೈಂಡ್ ಮೀ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪಿ ಟಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೈಂಡ್ ಮೀ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪಿ ಟಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸಿ ಟಿ. Today I have not bought the textbook, and it's not there in this notes also, written notes. Okay, so shall we move on to the next topic? Is it do you have any doubts in this chapter? Any doubts, students? Please ask me. If you have any doubts to clarify, you want to clarify in this chapter, you can ask me. I'll be moving to
Ma'am,
the next topic. ಹೇಳಿಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಡಿಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ಫೇಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎರರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಎರರ್ನ ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಇಂದ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ನ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ. So there again you are going to study about this design factor. So we have removed here in this case.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Okay, ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತೆಗಿತೀನಿ. Just a minute, I'll take out the notes. Okay, so the next topic is transducers. Okay. So can you tell me what is a transducer? Where you have seen transducers?
Ma'am, transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into another form.
Very good. Transducer is a device which converts one form of energy to another form of energy. Okay, any other answers? There are different types of transducers. What are those transducers? What are the different types of transducers? Where all you can use these transducers? Where all you have seen transducer applications?
Ma'am, loudspeakers.
Loudspeakers. Okay, good. What
Microphones.
type of transducers is there? Yeah. Microphones. Then where you can see transducers? We're using so many devices, transducers and sensors. Like you have seen sensors in most of the cases nowadays, in most of the applications.
Ma'am, optical communication.
Optical communication. Which type of transducer is there? What will happen in that case? Which form of energy is converted to which form? Yes, tell me.
Sound energy is converted into electrical signals.
Sound energy is converted into electrical signals. Good. Then where else you have seen other than these optical fiber, optical signal transmissions and all those things? Other applications in general. Just a minute, I'll connect my laptop to the charger. Yes, any other applications? Anyone Anywhere? Any? What are the different types? Okay, this is one of the type of transducers. What you told, it converts into electrical quantities. What are the other types? How these transducers are classified? So there is a transducer, as you all know now, which is a device which converts the quantity under measurement, that is one form of energy to another form of energy, whatever quantity under measurement, into its proportional electrical signal. So here we are going to study about electrical transducers. So based upon different applications, we are going to classify these transducers based on different parameters. That is, one might be based on its applications, for which type of application these transducers are required, and we might use these transducers. We might classify these transducers based upon the method of energy conversion, which type of energy has to be, like, it has to be converted. Based on that also, we are going to classify the transducers and what is the type of output signal it is going to be produced. So usually transducers is classified based on these parameters, that is, based on the type of application for which it is used and what is the output it is producing, and also what is the method of conversion that is used in case of the transducer. So based on these parameters, we are going to classify transducers into different things. So firstly, we classify transducers as active transducers and passive transducers. Okay, transducers are firstly classified as active transducers and passive transducers. Okay, these are also firstly we'll tell about what is active transducers. Can anybody tell me what is active transducers? You heard about active elements, passive elements, right? It is almost similar to that. What is this? What is active transducers? So name itself, it's there. Like you have heard about active elements and passive elements. How do you classify active elements and passive elements? Yes.
Ma'am, in active elements, they don't need electrical energy or electrical supply, ma'am.
What were there? I didn't get you. Can you repeat? Can you repeat? I didn't get you.
Electrical energy in case of active elements, ma'am.
Electrical energy?
Supply beda, ma'am. Electrical energy required for them.
Okay, they are self-generating. 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, okay. So in other words, we can say that these active transducers are also known as self-generating transducers. So active elements are ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So which is classified as active elements? Source, voltage source, current sources. These are all what? Active element. Active. Like we'll classify into active elements and passive elements, right? So these resistors, capacitor, inductors, they require supply for their activation to work. So until and unless the supply is given to those elements, it is not going to work. It won't conduct. But these active sources, when we say, they are self-capable of, like they are capable of generating their own energy. So these active transducers are also in the similar way. We say these active transducers are also called as self-generating transducers. These transducers does not require any electrical energy for their operation. Okay, they have the capability of generating on their own. Whatever energy that is required, that will be generated by their own, and they does not require any external electrical energy for their operation. So that is why they call it as active transducers, and they produce the output voltage when stimulated by some physical form of energy. Like if you take a photovoltaic cell, what happens? You need not have to connect it to supply or anything. What happened? Directly when the light falls on the cells, they get activated and it starts producing the energy, right? Photovoltaic cells ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಈ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು? ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? So solar panels, light energy is converted into electrical energy, right? So when the light energy falls on these panels, they get activated and they starts conducting. Similarly, these active transducers does not require any external source for their working or any for generating the energy. So they are called as self-generating transducers, and they produce the output whenever it is stimulated by some or the other form of the physical energy. Okay, like some of the physical form of energy. So for example of this type of transducers is photovoltaic cells. Next, we classify transducers as passive transducers. One is active transducer. So you can tell for the passive transducers now. As I told you, passive elements, ಅದೇ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, these transducers requires electrical energy for their action. They cannot conduct their own, like they cannot generate their own energy. For the conduction of those transducers, it requires some external action. Okay, some external energy is required to turn on these transducers, or to make these transducers operate, we require some external form of energy. So these transducers requires electrical energy for their action, and therefore passive transducers are externally powered. So in these transducers, some electrical parameters like resistors, capacitors, inductors are varied in accordance with the non-electrical quantity under measurement, and the variation in the output of the current is produced. Okay, so these non-electrical parameters, like which require some external sources, will be activated by some external source or any other parameters. Okay, so that is what is the difference between active transducers and passive transducers. So firstly, transducers are classified as active transducers and passive transducers. So active transducers are also called as self-generating transducers, as they does not require any external energy for their operation, whereas passive transducers requires external energy for their operation, and they cannot conduct on their own. So for the example, we consider some of the parameters like resistance, capacitance, whose output is varied in accordance with this supply which is given. Okay. Further, these transducers are classified as analog transducers and digital transducers. So, in the what is the difference between these two, analog and digital transducers? See, you can look here. Analog transducers converts the input quantity into analog output. So the output of these analog transducers will be what? It will be in the form of analog, which is a continuous function of time. Okay. So the example for this are resistance strain gauges, LVDTs. Okay, analog transducers, it's same like analog device and digital devices. So that these type of transducers will produce the output which is in the analog form, which will be the continuous function of time. So whereas in case of digital transducers converts the input quantity, whatever signal might be the input, like input might be either analog or digital, it's going to convert that into the output of these type of transducers will be purely digital. Okay, so it will be in the form of pulses, encoders and decoders, what you have studied. So that comes under the classification of this digital transducers. So transducers are classified in this way. Firstly, they are classified as what? They are classified as active transducers and passive transducers. And secondly, they are classified as analog transducers and digital transducers. Okay. So now the you have known you came to know about the classification of these transducers. Now, before selecting a transducer, we have to consider some of the parameters. Like we have to consider some important parameters before selecting the transducers for any of the application. So what are those parameters which has to be considered, or on which parameters this transducer's effectiveness is validated? Let us see. So see, for selection of an appropriate transducer is the most important task for any of the instrumentation engineering, as it transforms the input physical quantity into proportional electrical signal. So the selection of the transducer, it is essential that the type, the range of the quantity under measurement, the transducer operating principle, and overall accuracy required must be determined. So while selecting the transducers, we have to look into certain parameters. So now let us see what are the parameters which has to be considered. This is a very important question. It's a repeatedly asked question also. Okay. So you should, as an electrical engineer, you should know, because further you'll be doing many of the um, experiments or some of the mini projects you'll be doing. So most actually usually in electricals I used to give some projects relevant to this topic only. So most of the seniors have used many transducers and they have shown the applications of that. So this time I couldn't give you any event, so I took up this subject late. Okay, so I couldn't give you, and due to some time limitations we couldn't do any type of project. So how we have to select the transducers? You have to look into certain parameters before selecting any transducers. Okay, so let us see on what parameters it will depend. So what are the parameters we have to consider for selecting a transducer for a particular application? So firstly, we have to look into what type of operating principle it has. Okay, the very first point is operating principle. First, let us look into the operating principle of the transducer. Operating principle of transducer might be resistive, inductive, or capacitive. So whatever application we need, what type of application, for which type of application we are using, based on that we are going to classify this transducer. Okay, so we have to look into the operating principle and you have to select. So there are different operating principles of the transducer. That is either it might be resistive, capacitive, or inductive. Next, coming to the sensitivity. What do you mean by sensitivity? You have studied in errors chapter. What do you mean by sensitivity? Errors ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಪ್ಪ?
Smallest value it can read.
Which can be detected. Yes, good. The smallest value which can be detected. So the instrument can sense. That is the very smallest input, the minimum input which an instrument can detect or which can be sensed is termed as sensitivity. Similarly, here, while selecting the transducer, we have to look into that. The transducer must be highly sensible. Like it should be very sensitive enough to produce detectable output. So very small output also should be. So whatever transducer we are going to select transducer, it should be capable of sensing even a smaller change in the output. Okay, so we have to look into the sensitivity part. First, we have to look into the operating principle. So based on what type of application we are using, so based we are going to select the transducer which is having different types of operating principles. So each transducer will be having different operating principle depending on applications, like resistive operating principle, inductive capacitive operating principle. The transducer might be dependent on any of these principles. So based on our application, we have to select. The second thing we are looking into is sensitivity. So how sensitive is our transducer which we particular application. Okay, so it should be very capable of, like it should be very highly sensible to a smallest change in the output. Next is the operating range. We have to look into the operating range of the transducer. Okay, we have to look into the operating range of the transducer. The rating of the transducer shown must be sufficient enough so that it does not break down, which working on its specified operating range. So we have to look into the operating range of the transducers. We have to look into the operating range of the transducer. So what is the output we require? Based upon that we have to select the range of the transducer. So in the application ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ range, so you have to select the transducers based on the operating range. The rating of the transducers will be specified. So based on that you have to look in select the transducer so that when you use it, it should work within the limits. Like you have to operate that transducer within the limits, so that to operate it you should know the ratings of the transducer. So ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು particular range ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆ application higher range application use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will not work appropriately. So based upon your application you have to select the range of the transducers. Okay, so that it should not break down while working. So it should be suitable for your application for which you have selected the transducer. Okay, next is accuracy. So obviously accuracy not only for transducer, we are going to consider it for all type of devices. Okay, so all the devices, what we are going to look at, the very first point we are going to look into is accuracy. How accurate is what is the degree of accuracy of this particular equipment? So the transducer should be selected. The transducer which is having higher accuracy, like which is accurate, we are going to select such type of transducer. Next, errors. In order to avoid errors, the transducer should be maintain the expected input output relationship described by its transfer function. Okay, so the errors, in order to avoid the errors in the transducer, so whatever output is expected, based upon that, so what is the input given and what is the output, that has to be determined or predetermined. Okay, so this you transfer function andre you're going to study in control system subject. So output by input ratio. Okay, so what is the expected thing, what is needed, based upon that input output ratio you have to select the transducer in order to avoid the errors. Next is loading effect. You have already studied about loading effect. What is this loading effect? So you're based upon the range of the transducers, you have to load. So I have told you in terms of your ಯಾವ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಹೈಯರ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಶೋ ದಿ ಗುಡ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ರೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಲೋ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್. Or if you take higher range and connect across a smaller supply, it will obviously show smaller reading. Reduced appropriate reading barta iralla, there will be some variations in the reading. So there similar way in case of this transducers also, loading effect and transducer should always have an high input impedance and low output impedance to avoid loading effect. Okay, transducer should have high input impedance and low output impedance to avoid loading effects. Okay, so this is what is the parameters you have to consider. Then is the environmental compatibility. So the transducer, what you are going to select, it should be able to withstand the environmental changes like temperature, pressure, and all those parameters. So the transducer should be capable of withstanding all these parameters. Next is insensitivity. So the transducer, whatever we are going to select, it should be insensitive to the unwanted signals. So the disturbances, whatever occurs externally, it should be insensitive to those signals, disturbances. Okay. Then some electrical aspects. So which includes the length and type of the cable required. Frequency response limitations must be also be considered. So while selecting a transducer, obviously you have to look into all the ratings, not only this frequency or any other parameters. So what is the application for what you are using this transducer? That application, what is the range of that range for that application? What are the ratings you need? So based on those ratings, you have to select the transducers. So the electrical aspects, that might include length and type of the cable. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಥಿನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕೆಲವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಥಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಈಗ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ವೈರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ದಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ವಿತ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕೇಬಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹವ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ವೈರ್ಸ್, ಥಿನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್, ಥಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಥಿನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಹೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್. So those things. Okay, and then stability and reliability. The transducer should exhibit high degree of stability to be operative during its operation and storage life. Reliability means life, longer life it should exist. So the whatever transducer you are going to purchase or you have to use, it should have a longer life. So these are some of the points which you have to mention. This is one of the very important question in case of transducers. What are the factors which has to be considered while selecting the transducers? Okay, so you have to mention all the 10 points, explain each line. So explain each parameter within 1 or 2 lines. Like you have to give a brief explanation. Sorry, not introduction, brief explanation. Right? First thing what we discussed just about what is a transducer. Then we discussed about what classification of transducers. Then comes the selection parameters. So what are the selection parameters? What are the things we have to consider while selecting the transducer? So write each point, each parameter, explain it. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Parameters ಏನೇನು ಅಂತ you have to consider. You have to
Yes,
look
ma'am.
to all these parameters before buying a transducer or before using a transducer for a particular application. So if the transducer satisfies all these conditions, it meets all the conditions and that is suitable for a particular application. So you can consider. Okay, so the next topics we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, we have another class now. Meeting is department. So I'll wind up the class today. I think nimgeella bere classes alla wind up agidiyappa already. Are you people free all the time now? Yes. ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಬೇರೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್? ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ?
Yes, ma'am.
ಎಸ್, ಟೆಲ್ ಮೀ. ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆಯಾ?
ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇನ್ನು?
4 o'clock ಅಷ್ಟಂಕ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ ma'am.
Every day, because yesterday
ma'am.
was the last working day for you people, no? Maths still it's going on, maths class? Okay, are you people writing measurements lab manual? Have you started to write those things? Okay.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ
Yes, ma'am.
ಹೇಳಿಪ್ಪ, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೀವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್.
ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅದು ಕಳಿಸಿಲ್ವಾ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಿಸರ್ಜೋಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು?
ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Okay, sorry.
No,
I'll
ma'am.
send it. But what about this one? 3-phase power measurement? Did you calculate? Are you getting the power factor equal to 1 or nearly 1?
ಅದು 0.95 ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತದ
It's okay, no issues. 9 cross adre it's fine. It can't be exactly 91. Okay, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ heat ಆಗೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಲೋಡ್ಸ್, ನಾವು ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಲೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, the readings it will change due to all those things, factors. So at least if you get nearly 1, it's enough, like 9.